you better turn down the John McLaughlin, Jack Bruce, Tony Lee stuff so you won't be able to understand day today. Oh, and it's, what is today? It's the end of the month, and I hope everybody has a happy 4th for whatever your plans are. And this is one more round. I haven't had one in a while. It's so busy. Oh, my lord. Man, but that's okay. Uh, if you have a chance to chat, please do so. And if not, I don't know about beyond. You never know when the Gestapo's going to show up, and then I got to cut it short. So, um, and I hope you can hear me. And just to make sure that you can hear me. Let me push it up a bit here. No. No. But, well, um, the main thing we're going to talk about today, if you're interested, is we're going to try and talk about what I've discovered lately. And I was listening to one of my favorite comedy albums from, well, I'd say probably the mid-late 60s, by a group called the Fireside Theater. It was called Waiting for the Electrician, or something like that. And then they had another one that I even like better, which is called We're All Bozos on This Bus. I thought, well, let's talk about bozos and bimbos because there's a lot of them out there. And unfortunately, we put them in the places that they are in. And I can't change it because I'm just too old and I just would say disabled. And some people would say that then we have problems. And that's always questionable because just as somebody else might say, of course, me, my doctor say it, because this here, I just think it's peculiar. Um, but I think to start out, we should talk about the real bozos and bimbos. Uh, and those are involved in the news media because for some weird reason, they actually think they're really important people. And at the same time, they feel like we're interested in their what, religious beliefs or the books that they just about themselves that they just wrote and all this other BS, which is either being covered by someone else or nobody really cares. And I personally don't. If you want to talk about your religious beliefs, and do it when you're at home or do it when you go to church or whatever. But I really don't give a shit. I don't believe in all that crap. God, Satan, heaven, hell, Jesus Christ, uh, whatever, all this stuff. All this stuff is man-made because I guess you would say that most men need somewhere, and I just wanted to hide their guilt and their shortcomings in some place where they can lay it, so that it looks like it's not their fault. They have an excuse, someplace to hide, or or thinking that they're going to be forgiven. Well, I hope they are. Uh, I would forgive them. Don't ask me why, but I would because everybody makes mistakes. The thing I'm more curious about is why do they think they have the need, in their opinions? I don't give a shit about their opinions. They can keep their opinions to themselves. I keep mine to myself. This is what my opinion is that if they keep their opinions to themselves, I'll keep my opinion to myself. I would like to see. I don't watch the news anymore anyway. My wife, sometimes I'm going to be reading a book or whatever, and she's in the room. She will say she usually turns it on. So I watch local news. I don't care about that either because uh, I live in a state where I do question the validity of the government in the state simply because of the fact that it seems like it's a semi-fascist or totalitarian, authoritarian. We tell you what to do, and if we don't like the way you vote on something, we'll just rewrite it some way and put it back on the ballot and have you vote on it again. Because it's not the answer that they want, they just keep putting it back on. And that just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And if they need to increase their revenues, well, instead of trying to find a way to bring businesses into the state, they just increase property taxes. Oh, I am the most anti-tax person in this entire world. after my parents were. And it's like, so it's an avoidance at all cost because every time they take our money, they spend it on, pardon my French, shit that we don't usually end up 90% of the time give a fuck about. So what do you do? Well, I think that for the most part, just kind of ignore it. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't ignore it. Sometimes you just have to go, okay. But it's ridiculous. And I guess I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself on that. Let's go back to talking about the media. I remember reading a bumper sticker one time, just out of the blue. I usually don't do that kind of thing. But this guy had a bumper sticker on the back of his truck that said, um, America's biggest virus, the news media. And I thought, wow, that is really so spot on. I wonder if anybody else has seen that because it's like, well, don't you want to know if that is the truth? Well, if you pay attention. And we can go through any number of things as far as how the media is totally disrupting things. The Kohlberger trial, the P. Diddy trial, the trial of the kid that supposedly shot the CEO of United Healthcare. Um, they bring it on and they make a big deal out of something like P. Diddy's trial, but the Kohlberger trial, the kid shooting the guy, well, you know what? They're already pretty much the kid. The Kohlberger kid is already, his constitutional rights have been violated so bad, it's like, they should have already throw the fucking thing in the court. Because he's what the Constitution is, so you're due for a fair and expedient trial. Fuck, he's been in prison for 2 fucking years, waiting for these assholes to do the damn trial. He's still got Congress, but in the meantime, they're showing, oh, what is it, 48 hours or one of the nations, where they're showing video of stuff that they say that's supposed to be him doing it. And I'm thinking, how big are the whole that crap? They shouldn't have that garbage. But that's the virus. Okay? The virus is not about anything that is good for anybody but them. Excuse me, Ozzy wanted to scream at me. I had to turn it down. Okay, so, um, yeah, if you can just open up if you would like and talk, and if not, I won't keep anything going. Maybe I'm the only person on this watching this, which would not be abnormal. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but I do wonder why. And the thing is too is it's like, and the news media is supposed to be, I would think, unbiased, but you have the ones that lean to the liberal left, and you have the ones lean to the uh, radical right. Is it Barney? No, sorry, it's my cat. Or one. I don't know where the other ones are. But I'd love to come in and visit when I'm busy. No, you can't get in my lap right now. And I hear you. And so, I think that the biggest thing that is wrong, from my perspective, is that I don't know. It's like, does anybody really care about Jeff Bezos' wedding? Why is it on the news? It's not news. It's just some billionaire getting married. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against people who want to make it, or take something from nothing and make something out of it. Okay, I'm him, Musk, or certainly not Warren Buffett. I've had nothing against that guy. But they made their own way. And there's no reason that we should be jealous or feel like they should be subjected to different uh, things than any of the rest of us, as long as they abide by the law and the Constitution. I think we took all the lawyers out of Washington and every other state capital, we might actually get some results. But as long as they're there, that's what they do. And they write the laws for themselves, boys and girls, not for us, only for themselves. If it's to their advantage or the advantage of their friends or something else, and all the bullshit and smoke blowing that they do, uh, well, I get to see anything out of it that is to the actual benefit of the people of this country. It's supposed to be a country of the people, by the people, for the people. That's not what's happening. And anybody's going to tell me that I'm wrong, bring it. I'm waiting for you. Okay, because I just don't see it. And uh, it doesn't bother me. I'm not saying I don't think I'm gonna be around much longer anyway. And I don't really care. But I'm worried about. I have children. I have a wife. I have grandchildren, a great grandchildren, and I would like to think that somewhere along the line, somebody's going to do the right thing. But I'm not going to delude myself to believe that that's possible. Wait, like, excuse me, I don't have my fuck off shirt on today because I don't know where it is. It's somewhere, along with all my other shirts. Fuck off, fuck you, fuck that, fuck that. I like that a lot. Um, That's about it, really. And so live, and I can stop it and give a break and see if somebody shows up. I don't think they will, or I can just get the fuck out of this thing. But that's the topic for today. Bozos and Bimbos. And at the very bottom of the barrel for the Bozos and Bimbos are the most bozos on the bus and the bimbos on the bus are the news media. And that's my take. You certainly can. Um, Take it as far as you want. If you really feel like you would be interested in pursuing that. And I'm going to leave a little note here. Use my remote keyboard since you can type on. The thing is that uh, I think that's another thing. It feels like they want to, not just the virus, that everybody, they want to, but the virus is really good about it, trying to constantly keep us in a state of fear. You know what I say to them? Fuck off, because I ain't afraid of shit. I'm afraid of nothing, never have been. And to be afraid is to live a life that really doesn't amount to much. It's more or less what I would say. It's like that. Where was I see that? I don't know. Some in a movie, probably or a book. Fear is the mind killer. Don't be afraid of anything. There's nothing to be afraid of. But if you're afraid of dying, you're going to cross the bridge. Next room. Okay, there you go. No big fucking deal. All of them that are, if you're going to hell. If you believe that shit, you're going to. I don't believe in any of that crap. Okay? But I'm not telling the other people how to think, what to think. That's not right. I'm simply opening up the door for some questions to see if someone else has an opinion on some of these things. Because we won't get opinions from, the people that are in charge around the country or anything because they're afraid. And they would have to put themselves out here. The rest of us, you can't have that kind of thing. I don't care who they are or who they think they are. I'm going to have to put up with something else ridiculous. Well, who knows? Maybe the SWAT team, the FBI, everybody else will show up at the same time. As long as they leave their guns outside, they're welcome to come in. Just as long as they understand it's knives, baseball bats, and I do have some swords. And that's it. We don't do carry guns here. That's kind of stupid, I think. And we have more. I don't have. It's your Second Amendment right to have guns. You can have them all you want. But we're having enough problems in the cities with gun violence that I'm not going to advocate for one way or the other. I'm just saying it makes you more aware that you have to be more careful what you're doing and where you're going. It's a shame. It really is. It wasn't that way when I was growing up. You didn't have to worry about that. But now it's just like it's an everyday, constant mechanism of destruction. As long as, next thing you know, now we're going to start working to give the industrial military complex another swing at it with bombing Iran. they have it? Why can't they have nuclear weapons? Israel's got them. We got them. I'm doing time. I'm going to just give it to everybody. Then just blow the fucking world up. And that'll be the end of it. I'm thinking that it's funny how they think they're going to put something back. You know what I'm saying? But make it step back by doing things like that. You can't deny someone something like that. Everybody else has got it before it's over. And as far as anti-Semitic uh, speech or anything else that people are offended by when somebody says something like, I don't know what they say, actually, I don't pay attention to it, but anti-Semitic would do the same thing as calling somebody, and I'm not going to say it then, but when I was growing up, I mean, I'm from the South. Would I hear it? Oh, sure. I had a lot of friends that were, I can tell you flat out, I busted a couple of people up because I don't want to get, I'm not a racist. I have no any desire, and I would prefer that they just get all this religious bullshit and racist crap out of the way so we can actually carry on and actually have a decent country life. This ability. This country is missing that. In fact, the whole world has this ability, decency, the humanity, the understanding, trying to be, I guess the word would be accepting of the fact that we're not all the same. And notice I'm certainly not all the same. I'm far from it. And I'm damn proud of it. But I will tell you, I'm an American, 100%. I've done my job defending my country, even though I thought it was wrong at the time, and I still do. But my father spent 22 years defending this country, both fronts in World War II and in Korea, and he's decided he wanted something more simple life and get away from all of that. Because as he saw and I saw in the 60s, the world was changing and going in the wrong direction. It's been going in the wrong direction ever since, whether anybody goes to bed or believes it or whatever, no matter what. That's all. I'm going to cut it short here, kids, and sorry I didn't hear from anybody today, but maybe another time if you happen to catch me in here, please feel free to jump in. And you can always send me a text message, or you can always send me an email, whatever. You've got my address right there in front of you. I would love to read your comments, and I would love to hear what you have to say. I hope you have a super great day. I would also like to recommend today, and I'm sure everybody talks about Eric Clapton, so that's fine. I think Eric did some great work here, but I also think some of this stuff was But nobody really talks about Jack Bruce, and I would highly recommend that if you don't do anything else, his third album was called Harmony Road. It's a beautiful album, and it's very versatile, and it also shows that Jack wasn't just a great songwriter with his buddy Pete Brown, but was an unbelievable musician. Okay, off the and all I can say is love and peace, keep the faith, don't be afraid, and don't turn your back on somebody when you know they need your help. Okay, later guys.